Good evening, folks. Happy to join you here tonight. I wanted to share a story. It's one I've told a few people, not that many. It's definitely not the easiest story. It's not one I like talking about at all. But it's my why. It's when I get asked why I'm running, there's many reasons why I'm running, but when someone has a time to hear the story why I run, this is what they hear. And hear about this individual who I had never met before, but an individual that I knew very well. I knew everything about this individual. I investigated him very much. He was on my caseload as a parole officer for Washington State Department of Corrections. And this individual, he was a bad guy. The type of guy that every day he is behind bars is another day that someone like you or me gets to stay alive. This individual, he had already tried to kill a security guard. It was but through the grace of God that security guard didn't die. Um, like I said, just a horrible guy. And I knew the day he was being released and coming into my office, I had to do something. Because like I said, every day behind bars this guy is another day alive for you and me. And so I investigated his record, looked up any violation he could possibly have, and got all that information. And in Washington State, when you're on parole and you're in violation, you're either in high level or low level. There's one, it's one or the other. If it's low level, you may not even go to jail. And even if it's high level, no matter how many violations it could be over a dozen. But the most that you'll be in custody for is no more than 15 days total. And that's only if that gets allowed. In this situation, this individual, his violations would have been classified as low level. But I did my due diligence. I found every violation I could, and I aggravated those charges so that he would be held at a high level violation so that we could have the chance to at least keep him in jail for a couple of weeks. And that was approved. I was able to get him put in for a hearing to potentially be in custody for 2 weeks. And at these hearings, we have a hearing officer present the case, and the case was presented. And due to the policies and the legislation in Washington State, where the goal is always to keep bad guys out of jail, the least restrictive possible, whereas I do believe we need to be giving the most supportive, reasonable treatment. This individual, though I recommended he be in custody for 2 weeks, he was released after 11 days. And that put his release at on December 21st. 2 days later, 2 days before he should have ever been released, 2 days before Christmas. If you think you know, you already do, you probably do. And he did exactly that. He went and murdered some 80-year-old man out walking his dog days before Christmas. Should have never been out on the street. And it wasn't until I was able to step away from the DOC that I was able to look at that situation, that specific case, and just realize something is not right. Things should not be going down like that. That is not the way justice is supposed to be. Every officer has their story. There's always that one case. And that was definitely my case. And that's why I'm running. For justice, accountability, and to make Washington great again. Thank you for your time. Valleza for Congress.